my dad's brother on my Pakistani side was actually killed by a racist person. Hi, my name's Khalid. I'm going to answer some questions on behalf of WAMU TV. First question is, what is my mix? I am half Irish and half Pakistani. My mum being Irish Catholic and my dad being Pakistani Muslim. I myself grew up in London. What is my passion? My passion in life is being able to help people that have been through tough upbringings, being able to, do something positive with their life. I myself grew up in care. I got into a lot of trouble when I was younger, got kicked out of school, got into trouble with the police, hung around with the wrong sort of people. And I was able to change my life around. So one of my main passions is being able to help other young people who have been through similar circumstances be able to change their lives around and be able to do something positive regardless of what they have been through. I currently am a youth support worker working with high risk and hard to reach young people. So I'm very blessed in the sense that I get to do as a career something that I'm very passionate about. Other than that, outside of that, I work in music, working with music artists in the background, sort of more creative things. So dealing with video shoots and PR and social media and them sort of things, which as I said, is also a passion of mine and is going quite well at the moment. What was it like being mixed race in Ireland? So I lived in a small town which was just outside of Dublin with my auntie when I was quite young. And I actually went to school there for a year. And obviously being in school, young people can often be quite ignorant. I lived in a town where I was the darkest guy in the town. I was obviously the darkest guy in the school. And though 90% of people were welcoming and 90% of my experiences were positive, because a lot of them hadn't met someone who looked like me, there was often, an ignorant comment here and there. I wouldn't say the majority of it was malicious, but it's just that they hadn't met someone like me. But after a while, after educating people and showing them about my background and things like that, and once they got the trust in me, then, there wasn't really much negative experiences after that. After they got used to me, really. I say, funny enough, I got more stigma for being English than for being mixed. Irish people have a bit of a grudge against English people for a lot of things that happened in the past. But yeah, being mixed race, are you treated differently in the Pakistani community? I'd say there has been some negative experiences for myself growing up, mainly being that, with a lot of cultures, there's a lot of stigma attached to people dating or having children or marrying outside their race. So with my father getting with my mother, an white Irish lady, there was a lot of circumstances that us as children, me, my brother and sister, weren't accepted as much as, if we were to be full Pakistani. So there was negative experiences growing up, but personally I moved around a lot, so I grew up in different foster homes, so I didn't have too much experience of that, or specifically within the Pakistani community. I also grew up in an area that was predominantly Caribbean, so I grew up around a lot of Caribbean culture. And foster homes I grew up in with white people, Asian people, black people, people from all sorts of backgrounds. So I'd say growing up, it was quite hard to sort of find where I belong And I don't think I had enough experience of actually Asian culture within the UK, being that I moved around a lot. What does my strong mixed race pride come from? Where does my strong mixed race pride come from? I'd say I'm very proud of both of my cultures. I'm very proud of both of my cultures, mainly because of knowing that the struggles that a lot of people that come from those cultures had to face when they first came to this country. You know, there's the old, you know, disgusting saying that you'd hear of no blacks, no dogs, no Irish and things like that. So my Irish side of the family, I know they faced a lot of racism and things that when they first came to this country. And actually my dad's brother on my Pakistani side was actually killed by a racist person before I was born. And what I take a lot of pride in is that my family, no matter where they came from, they came to this country and they had to face tragic things like that, and they managed to build, you know, decent lives for themselves and, you know, create families. And, you know, I'm proud of my roots in that sense. So yeah, proud to be mixed and proud to be what I am. You know, often people ask the question, they're like, oh, do you feel more Pakistani or do you feel more Irish? And I say I feel both. You know, I'm proud to be mixed, which doesn't mean I'm more one than the other. Yeah. Do people mistake me for other races? This happens to me a lot because my mix is quite rare and you don't get it a lot. People often put me in different boxes. So being brown with a beard, I typically get stuff like Arab or Turkish, Moroccan, yeah, mainly things like that, Middle Eastern, Mediterranean. Funny enough, sometimes even people speak to me in their language, like Turkish. I can go, you know, into, let's say, a Turkish shop or something like that, and they start speaking to me in their language, and I have to explain and tell them my background. So yeah, I do get mistaken for other races a lot. Have I experienced racism from family members? Funny enough, obviously I touched on that a bit, but yes, I did. Growing up, I wasn't accepted by certain family members on both sides, but I would say mainly within the Asian side, and I'm not trying to put anything negative upon that, but it's just a lot more rare for I'd say people within my Pakistani side of the family to get with anybody other than Pakistani, whereas there is a few mixed race people within my Irish side. So I did experience some negativity and some racism, and I guess just not being accepted by certain family members, but that was tough growing up, and, you know, made me feel a bit lost as to where I belonged. But eventually, you know, I learned that, you know, family is who you choose. It's not just by blood. You know, I've got friends who I see more as family than people that I'm related to. So that's what I call it, to put it better, is, you know, I see relatives and family. So there's a lot of people, I have a lot of relatives, but I don't have a lot of family. My family are people that I choose to keep within my life. So those that didn't accept me or my siblings, you know, they're just relatives, they're not family to me. Are there many mixed race people in the Pakistani community? I'd say it's becoming more common now, but it wasn't so much when I was younger. But it's still not so common. I think religion is also quite a factor as well, because you know, obviously Pakistanis are majority Muslim, and a lot of them don't really marry or get with people that aren't the same religion. But I think, yeah, a lot of that stuff is starting to become more common now than it was when I was younger, but I still rarely find people that are of the same mix as myself. Only, you know, a few in my whole life have I met that are the same mix as myself, which, funny enough, yeah, people call me a Paddystani as sort of my nickname. So when I meet other Paddystanis, yeah, it's a very rare thing to happen. What else? Where can we find out more about you? Social media, really. Follow me up on my socials. Mainly Instagram I use, so I'd say follow me on Instagram, which is Paddystani, Paddy.Stani, PADDY.STANI, on Instagram. And now you guys understand where that nickname comes from, because I just explained all of it. But yeah, thank you for listening, and big up WAMUTV. And yeah, if you guys ever have any questions about my experiences, or you've experienced something similar, want some advice, or anyone that you know is going through any struggles with things that maybe I can help with, you know, feel free to hit me up and drop me a message. Thank you.